SpeedGaming 6. That's right. We've got more Super Metroid Dash Mystery Tournament coming your way here on SG6 between MassHesteria and TGDerp. My name is the Hockey Town, and I'm joined on the mic by DJ Webb. What's up, D-Webb?
Oh man, I'm excited to be here. This is the opening day of our bracket stage of this mystery tournament. Already a race going on SpeedGaming 2, and here we are with match number 2 starting. This should be an absolute barn burner. 16 seed coming out of Swiss, MassHesteria, 17 seed Derp. And these two actually met up a couple of months ago in another tournament. Went to 3 games. Mass with a very nice play, won one of those games. Derp definitely traditionally the favorite, but it's mystery, so as much as anything can typically happen in Randomizer, absolutely anything can happen here.
You said it, D-Webb. We had some really exciting Swiss round action, and now we're into the main bracket. Couple of first round buys, but this is the one you want, folks, between two almost identical seeds, and of course Derp using the Blatt timer for great success. Guaranteed success with that timer.
Absolutely, and we're getting started with a little bit of full countdown action. One of the first things you get to see is the HUD telling you potential item split and also your charge beam here in the mystery tournament. 3 majors, 2 E-tanks here. Early on, some nice info, and we'll see how our runners like to deal with this. Full countdown, definitely interesting in how things can play out. The majors can be basically anywhere around, so not going to necessarily be checking in a little bit more of a stingy way, but depending on how many majors and where they are and how you feel about the seed, things could definitely get interesting.
I gotta agree with you, D-Webb, as our runners make their way down to Retro Bryn. I think this first item has I'm not sure about the probability of it being Morph Ball, but now that we've seen it, it has 100% probability of being the Morph Ball.
Absolutely. Only 2 places that can be in logic, either here or in the ceiling, so
that's right, 50-50.
I am always happy to see it early here at the vanilla spot, especially in full. If you can get especially 2 different sets of power bombs, you can maybe think about Billy Mays a little bit more than you might otherwise, but Mass does not do the Alpha Missile first like Derp does, which is how I typically like to do things, but it is typically 6 in one, half a dozen in the other.
Well spoken. Oh, look at this. Power bomb get for our runners here in the end of Retro Bryn. So that's got to... Can you check Billy Mays? Question mark?
I mean, you can check it. The risk is that if this is an area seed, the 1 power bomb pack, it takes you 3 power bombs to check Billy Mays in and out. So if you do that, you could go left, and if you can't follow that portal, then you're done. So that's the risk. Yeah. And typically, if it's area, you are pretty likely to want the portal over the items, just because of the lack of suitability in criteria. But you can obviously get another power bomb pack up there, and then you're really comfortable. But now the runner likes to check Billy Mays. Mass hasn't been doing this portal check pretty much all tournament, but I want to say that, I think in full, at least seeing the item definitely seems like a smart play. But we have no area randomization today. Vanilla map. And Derp does what I like to do, which is not do meme route in full, because you would much rather be checking Green Bryn from the top than the bottom. So it'll be an interesting one here to start.
I agree with you there, D-Webb, as Mass heads down to Old Mother Brain. Not much doing there, just a missile pack, but into the climb now. A lot of checks to be made in the parlor here, and also I think Gauntlet is also another possibility, especially if our runners find an E-tank.
Yes, indeed. So, dueling climbs, ledge grabs on the left, wall jumps on the right. And Mass is also going to have a bit of a surplus there on the power bombs, not checking either the item or the door to the left, where Derp did, spending 2 power bombs. Potentially won't have to refill at the ship, but not getting any additional power bombs thus far. It's pretty likely you're going to anyway, just because if you don't, you are liable to run out in places where it's quite inconvenient. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. 2 and 2. is a pretty nice number, and especially with Mass's likely skip of those items pretty much being a thing he was going to do for beginning. I think I would have liked even more to see Billy Mays from him, but we're going to head to BT and hopefully count one of these numbers down. So far, the only countdown we've gotten is from the Morph Ball, which absolutely has to be early. So
Right. Oh, wow. So we're looking top of ship, gauntlet, back of gauntlet. Where else? Well, of course, Billy Mays.
Shaft Supers.
Yeah, that's
Moat.
right. Shaft Supers and Moat.
Criteria deceptively big and voluminous as far as item checks, especially in the not full modes. Most of them are pretty irrelevant, which is nice a lot of the times. Especially things like Shaft Supers, landing side power bombs, etc. But yeah, and Derp is not ship refilling and using his last one here. He knows that it's vanilla map, so this is a little bit interesting just because there is a room connected to Green Hill, the Green Tower, that will allow you to refill on some Fire Fleas, but you would like to be doing that after you do Brinstar Reserve.
Sure.
And okay, there's no majors or E-tanks at the back of the gauntlet. Wherever the additional countdown items are hiding, they are quite out of our reach at this point.
Definitely buried somewhere.
Derp got a pirate power bomb drop. That's cheating. Only Maniacal's allowed to do that.
Amazing.
5-2.
Amazing.
It's a big number there.
That is a big number. 5 majors here in Green Bryn. Gosh. Hopefully they get something juicy here right at the Brinstar Reserve. We'll see if there's anything underneath the bridge. More supers. That's nice to see early. Derp's already got 10. Mass just behind. And another super pack.
Especially in a 5-2 Green Brinstar, that second power bomb pack. Very, very nice to have. Especially and a third.
Goodness.
The veterans of SMZ3 will know very well that if you are coming in here and doing a lot of checks, 5 power bombs is not enough.
No.
It really just isn't.
It just isn't enough, especially with no normal bombs.
Yeah. And we've seen 4 of the 5 items here in this very dense area, the Brinstar Reserve. We haven't counted down anything yet, so these extraneous and somewhat longer checks are going to be where all of the money is.
I'm saying it right now, D-Web. Everything's at the bottom of Bryn with the Eticunes. That's where it's going to be 3 majors down there.
At this point, you'd be very happy about that, as Mass forgot about this super, presumably, and then remembered about it. Says, yes, please, I would like another super missile. That's another thing that gets used quite a bit here in Green Brinstar. All the doors plus the Spore Spawn skip requires 3 supers to get in and out. The Wavegate glitch uses super missiles. Green and red doors abound. Mission Impossible, there's a super block there, so happy to have ammo, but we're looking to get this 5 down to hopefully 0, as long as the waterway location doesn't hold something. But there's major number 1, the most impactful of all the majors.
I'm 2 for 3 here, D-Web. Now, I didn't know what they were gonna be, but that's two items down here that are majors. Not bad items either. X-ray wave, not too shabby. Wave certainly has some utility.
There goes the need to glitch the wave gate. You can just shoot it with the wave beam. We'll see if our runners remember that or care to do it. It's right. Very much a muscle memory thing to just do it the way you always do it in Randomizer, which is without that wave beam. But
so close.
Very nice movement here. Climbing a little bit back ahead of Mass, who had skipped an item check and been ahead for a little bit. Very, very crisp wall jumps up this Etikun shaft.
I'll say. I feel like movement is kind of an underrated component of Rando, but I wouldn't say that we've seen many races, except for like the jet seeds, come down to just pure movement.
Typically, it is an augment to your skill, and it is not. Well, if it's the totality of your skill, you might be in some trouble because the randomizer could definitely throw some funky stuff at you. But
sure can.
Yes. quicker you can move through these rooms, the quicker you can gain those items that you are very much looking for. Here's major number 3, the Ice Beam. And it's Derp and Mess. Neither of them elected to lay this power bomb here, so Mission Impossible. Oh, well, Mess is going to do it now. As Derp is going to open that Spore Spawn skip and then come down here. Check out Charge Missile and Charge. Mass going to be deboosting past the first enemy and then supering the final one to get just a missile here. A little bit unfortunate.
Yeah, was hoping for a major, something pretty good. Like you said, unfortunately, just that missile pack. But now Derp's heading up to do back a Spore Spawn, and then maybe going to do Wave Gate Mission Impossible. So kind of an interesting order here.
Yeah, without the high jump boots to do the hundo strat to get out of Mission Impossible, it's a little bit weird to order these kind of things just because you're going up and down and all around and stuff like that. But
for sure,
we found both energy tanks. Gonna be happy to be at 3 total R runners here.
Yeah, with vanilla
still
map.
looking for some big finds. The Ice Beam's pretty good. The Wave Beam also good. X-Ray has utility, but it's not gonna progress you anywhere. So.
Yeah, I like the beams, you know, and the 3 tanks puts, you know, since it's a vanilla map, our runners can elect to go just straight to Business Center and make those checks and possibly make it to Bubble Mountain unscathed. Much safer with 3 than it is with 2. Like, oh my goodness.
Our beam damage is not going to be left wanting today. Already going to be at 300 with that plasma pickup and the starter charge.
That is wild. So most of the majors here in Green Bryn making up the microwave for sure. So that's going to be good for the boss fights, even with that starter charge instead of charge upgrades or full charge itself. So now Derp is electing to do Mission Impossible here. I think this is, for Mass, I think it's going to be a little faster. We'll see.
Yep, we have a 50-50 chance. We've got 1 item left at the Green Hill Zone. And after that, it's Waterway, which we cannot access without the speed booster. So, potentially leaving something behind.
Maybe it's something important, D-Web. We'll see. Depends on if Green Hill's got the goods or not. Also, remember that time when I said that Mass was going to get out of here faster than Dirt? Oh my goodness, that's it. No Waterway.
No Waterway. The seed being generous. 3 beams, the bombs, and the X-ray scope are all here in Green Brinstar. Definitely not going to be upset about that, but again, only the Ice Beam is really any kind of progression there. The Plasma Beam, well, the bombs can be progression for certain things. Plasma can also be progression for exactly the Plasma Beam item, but we're hopefully not going to be looking at that. But on the Red Brinstar we go, 2-1.
Very interesting.
And Derp is, interestingly enough, starting with X-Ray, the by far longest check.
Sometimes you just got to get it out of the way, D-Web. And Derp's thinking, X-Ray, the way this seed's going, I'm gambling on X-Ray.
But 3 items up at the top between Alpha and Beta power bombs. And you could just get all 3 there and be done, which is why I would expect most runners to not do this first, even if you end up doing it. But he's going to get that energy tank. That is nice.
Yeah, I do like the E-tank. I mean, it's not Varia, it's not Gravity, but more energy, more better, especially if Hell Runs are going to be in Logic on this seed. But that does open the door wide open for Mass to really collect some good items here at the top of Red Tower.
And there's also the option that you could get something like a space jump up here, and then you wouldn't have to do these tricky damage boosts. And speaking of those Hell Runs, you know what you're doing right now on Derp. Even with that E-tank, he's coming out of here 199, which is not a lot.
Oh my goodness. So not quite space jump, but the predecessor, the high jump boots. That's a great pickup for Mass. I don't think it's going to make him check X-ray any faster, but certainly going to help everywhere else.
Yes, indeed. Depending on what else we end up finding up here. I'm not super certain that Mass is thinking about X-ray regardless, unless he gets grapple or space. But the E-tank could definitely have some value here, as we're looking at beta power bombs here.
What's it gonna be? It is another super. Okay, so that's gonna be, if Derp elects to get that, it's gonna be 25 for Derp, 20 for Mass. So really great ammo early. Might not
Good
even
ammo
need.
and a really good beam.
Yes.
Always nice to see.
Yeah.
Nice
This is
deboost here for Derp.
the firepower seed, D-Web. What are these runners gonna do with all this firepower?
They're gonna blast, shoot, kablam, kablam.
Well spoken.
That's my plan
Well
at least.
spoken. That's a great plan. Got to execute that plan for sure. So that means it's got to be then Spazer as the last major.
Yes, indeed. A little bit of major minor flair here with the high jump boots being a little bit off kilter, but probably this item's gonna be good. I mean, if I'm looking at that tracker, and the only thing that's like any kind of bad is Spazer. Like all of the rest of the majors are really good.
Yeah, definitely front loaded here. Oh my goodness.
Charge upgrade. Are we going to 6 or 9? Here's the question. Double or triple? What is our
Double.
Oh, it's a double. So we've got starter plus charge here today. And frankly, we'd have been fine with 300, but 600 is icing on the cake, baby. Gonna be really powerful for the duration of this seed. But once again, as I said, everything was really good except Spazer. That was definitely probably after Spazer the least valuable. Even grapple probably has a little bit more utility, considering our bosses could be randomized in this seed. But we've got an upper Norfair number here at 1-3, and we're gonna look at the Kraid number 0-0.
So nothing at Kraid. But is Kraid at Kraid? That's the real question, D-Web. Or is it going to be one of these other monstrous bosses that our runners have to face? Oh, this is a heads-up save for Mass here. Definitely a good idea to consolidate all this work in the first 16 minutes of this race. Wait, what if it's fan-tuned? Do you make the play for wrecked ship from here? Although crossing the moat is not easy without grapple.
We're gonna have to see how this goes in this mystery tournament. We have 4 possible ways that our bosses can be arranged. There's the vanilla arrangement where they'll be exactly where you expect them to. There's shuffled, which we've been playing for a long time, where the bosses will not necessarily be at home, but will still unlock the doors they would in vanilla. Then there's shifted, which is a little bit of a twist, which is what we're looking at here, shifted style. With Fantoon is here, but it still says Kraid, so this is going to open up the Kraid E-Tank door. But as we know, it's got some kind of ammo, maybe a reserve tank behind it. In shifted, like I was about to explain, the bosses open the gray doors in the area they're in, and surprise, which I added an SH2 for fun, works the same as shifted, but there are not necessarily one of each boss. You can have all 4 of one, you can have 2 and 2, you can have basically anything. As Mass is going to try to get this microwave 1 round off.
Oh, so close.
Unfortunately.
D-Web, what do you think of this play from Derb? Deciding to bail on Kraid's warehouse and going straight to Business Center and getting to 30 supers. Do you think it could be Ridley and he actually wants Ridley ammo? Or tanks?
With
I don't think that's doable.
With no majors or E-Tanks in Kraid's lair, basically the only value you can get out of that exactly right now would be if it's shuffled Fantoon. So it isn't really super necessary, especially as Mass is showing us with the Fantoon there that's shifted. It's not really that necessary to be doing this exactly right now, so he's probably not going to lose anything.
That's fair.
And just wants to utilize all 4 of those energy tanks he has acquired to do some damage here on Upper Norfair. Only 1 major in Norfair. Also pretty big as far as number of items, and traversing it requires you to run through some very hot rooms and take damage as you do so. So definitely some big choices to be made here. 3 E-Tanks means you're going to get some pretty nice refills along the way, as long as they're not all either in one room or a little more out of your way at like Croc Escape or the Cathedral item, for example. But
sure. I like this play from Derp. Going to scout the Croc Escape item. If it is the major, then that settles it. It is more supers, miraculously. But yeah, this is definitely going to be interesting for these runners here, both in Business Center. You see Mass checking high jump first. E-tank pickup, that's not bad. Double E-tanks at high
A
jump.
little bit of a punish there. Derp doing the old wisdom major minor play of doing ice first. I don't know how high Mass's energy was to be able to do that at the start, but you do ice and then you come down here and you get E-tanks and you refill your energy for the hell
Sure.
runs in your future, which is what Derp is going to have available to him. Mass, it's, I believe it was maybe a super and then a reserve at the Crumble Shaft if he wants to
Yeah.
continue in Upper Norfair, which maybe he doesn't, honestly. Then you'll have to either Crystal Flash or do some farming. But we have plenty of ammo for those Crystal Flashes.
You said it. Yeah, this is definitely generous. Not just on those beams and charge upgrade, but definitely on the ammo. You see Derp go rolling with 30-30, Mass not far behind with 35-20, and 5 whole power bomb packs for both of these runners in the first 20 minutes. Definitely puts
I do like
Crystal Flash
this
potential.
I like this heads up save. More than likely, Mass is going to see the items in this area and just select to reset, and that's going to mitigate the loss of health on the somewhat suboptimal pathing. But
Somewhat.
only one major left here and one E-tank left.
Just
Unless it's a suit, it's kind of almost certainly not worthwhile to be down here right now.
yeah.
I'm gonna say, but
Like if it's not Varia, it's what gives, Seed? What gives? Where's the Varia suit? I mean, and having only one major, it's like trying to find a needle in a haystack, D-Web.
yes, and lots of things gonna poke and prod at your energy here as well. So be careful, be very wary of your Upper Norfair traversal. Nicely done, Hell Run to get over here to the Bubble Mountain. Derp is going to. I think he still hasn't saved in quite a while, funnily enough. But
So he's got to get to the top of this bat cave and farm up real quick. And he does so, no problem. But this is going to be a pretty lengthy farm. And like you said, D-Web, that heads up save at Frog Speedway allows Mass to reset out of Crumble Shaft and ice, and just start and go for that hell run.
I'm really curious. I think there's a pretty good shot. Mass is just gonna say goodbye to this area. He can. There's some Sulas Meridia items in Logic. We've got the high jump and the ice beam. We could get to wreck ship.
Turtle, right?
Yeah, he's thinking. Okay, he's gonna stay. Follow Derp's footsteps. But yeah, there's also the 2 items that are outstanding in criteria. None of them are gonna be the Varia or the Gravity suit. So. The best thing you could probably find there would be like Spring Ball to make your suitless play a little bit better. It's Mass a little bit dancing around here, probably making sure he's in the right hole for the item.
I think that was it. I think he might have gone in the first one a little bit early, but we did have a French vanilla speed booster. That's a nice pickup, and that closes the book on Norfair, at least Upper Norfair.
Yes. From here, I expect as it was very nice to do speed first and get both of our remaining counted down. We can save here, or we can save close to Croc. But Crocomire is its own area separate from Upper Norfair with its own count. So in vanilla map, you can't just escape for free like you can in area seeds. So that's what I expect Derp to do. He'll go towards the Croc area, save at the save station right there, and then check out that number if that's got something. Probably does it. If it doesn't, then we're gonna be out of here, as Mass is actually coming down here at least to farm, and then we'll see what he likes. Oh, Derp still not saving, but it's 1-1.
1-1. So this is going to be a pretty lengthy check here for Derp, but Mass, like you said, following in Derp's footsteps, so using the same time, but Mass still has that Fantoon kill at Kraid's warehouse in pocket. So really curious. I think this race is extremely close right now.
Yeah. Fans of the vanilla speed round will know that one of the perks, as any percent new route, you would do the Kraid's lair after you finish up all your Norfair stuff. One of the benefits of that is that you get heat shield at Crocomire E-Tank. By the way, that's what Derp found. Shout out to the HUD. But one of the benefits of that play is that you get to use Speed Booster in Kraid's lair. So this actually, not that the Hell Run was extensive or long for Derp, but Mass isn't going to be taking that heat damage to get to that Speed Booster in E-Tank. But yeah, things are really opened up here. It's also the case that if you track countdown the way that I do, and you start with 16 because that's a base number of majors in a seed. We're at least 18 for the seed with 2 charge upgrades. That's +1, and the heat shield's also +1. So there's quite a bit still out there. And again,
Oh,
we're
yeah.
looking at those suits. We don't have either of those. We don't have space jump, screw attack, and then grapples the rest of it. But yeah, some goods are hiding out in some places that we have not run into thus far. But very nice to have the major first item at Crocomire, and Derp just left. I expect Mass will do the same, especially because that extra energy really only aids in the hell runs that you are no longer doing in both of their cases, because Derp had already found the stuff and Mass got the heat shield. We're chilling.
Yeah, but this is a... Oh, wait, no, I stand corrected. I thought Mass was... Well, Mass is exiting a different way rather than taking the Croc escape and going back towards Bubble Mountain.
Yep. As Derp still not doing that boss. It makes sense. He really can't do the Dragon fight right now. And again, unless it's shuffled Fantoon, that will be the thing that you were guarding against by doing it now. You are gaining basically nothing from doing that right now. But I was gonna mention this at some point in the past, but the both runners have had options for some time now to peek into West Meridia and get that number. And again, we have High Jump and Ice, so the Crab Super item is in Logic. Both Mama Turtle items are in Logic. You can look at Main Street Missile as you run by it. But Matt's just gonna go up, see what's happening at this little place we call the wreck ship.
That's right. So I stand corrected. I thought Mass had already checked Bubble Mountain, so it makes total sense that he exited Croc the way he did. But I think this is really peculiar from Derp. I mean, we know what we know. We know that Kraid's Warehouse is Fantoon and that there's no majors. So sure, it makes sense for us to want Derp to fight Kraid, or I should say Fantoon there. But with Speed Booster, you know, you can spark across the moat, so that's no sweat. I just hope that Wreck Ship isn't like, you know, well, who couldn't he beat, D-Web?
The biggest trouble would be if this is Dragon. You can do the RBO escape with the crystal flashing and stuff, but it's not super comfortable. And in a speed run, you fail it and you reset and you try again. In a randomizer race where things are, it's a one-off basically, you really don't want to have that happen. And again, Derp just has not been saving, but we've got 2 majors here. Very nice jump to see that missile. I struggle with that a lot. High jump and speed definitely make that nice. But
not exactly a stacked ship, but a screw attack, so that actually narrows it down to 1 item. I should say 1 major, but there's, you know, if it's past bowling and it's a suit, like that's extremely costly for time.
Yes, indeed. So we'll see what Mass also not looking at that number. What Meridia holds, we do not know, and won't for quite some time. Looking like more than likely Derp's going to be the one that gives us that information. Our runners have been mostly following in each other's footsteps. A few zigs versus zags here and there. Derp does have the E-Tank at the X-ray scope. Mass has the kill of Fantoon at Kraid's lair. But otherwise, things are they're dwindling down as far as what can be our progression here.
Right. Just a heads up check though from Derp to go to Spooky now. Just a minute, yeah, definitely making an about face and getting the heck out of Dodge. Forget that missile pack. He's got a beam that can do 600 damage and 40 supers. I mean, we're talk about DPS. Derp's got it.
Yes, indeed. So, boss is going to tell us some things. That looks like another Fantoon.
Oh,
surprise!
This is the first race that I've seen Boss Surprise. This is exciting.
Yeah, so as I was pontificating some time ago, in Boss Surprise, there are not necessarily one of each boss, and luckily this is full, so those little intricacies that come about when you have multiple Fantoons. We now do not have 100 items in this game. It's no more than 99, but in full, because there's no bias towards any item being anywhere, it really doesn't affect anything. You just essentially in this, the way it works is there's just going to not be as many ammo items as there otherwise would be, which was already the case with an extra charge beam and an extra heat shield. But
Yeah.
especially given one of our orders are found already, ammo not of our concern in this seed. Nice beam, nice movement, nice everything. Just not nice suits.
Just not nice suits. You said it. You said it, D-Web. But if this is gravity, I think, you go straight Meridia here. You have to. But if it's Varia, on the other hand. No, Derp, pick those up. More supers.
Yeah, this has definitely been quite the intriguing one thus far. Gravity suit, especially for Derp, it's pretty much the end of the seed. We've got that heat shield, and that does a lot of negation of your need for energy and or the various suit in lower Norfair. And our movement, as we've seen, is quite exquisite here. Basically everything you could ever want. So
is that a really spicy Fantoon kill? No off-screen, just utilizing that microwave beam. Back when Derp fought him. See if Mass can duplicate that. Mass already had a warm-up Fantoon fight, so this is the main event.
Absolutely. See if he can successfully get that one-round microwave. He was a little bit off on the first one, but funnily enough, with our equipment, Fantoon basically just as easy as Kraid. No sweat off your back. No need to do the speedrun strats, the fancy Doppler 2 rounds, all of that fun stuff. You can just shoot him in the face and do some other funny stuff and tell him about it. But there's major number 2. Gravity suit toe, and again, especially for Derp, like he doesn't really need anything else. Mass definitely, I would say, capable of also treating this like go mode. His ammo's a little bit less, especially if we end up with a Ridley down there. But it's by surprise. There need not be any Ridleys, and Mass actually already knows that. With this being his second, Derp still has to find Fantoon number 2 down there in Kraid's lair.
Yeah, Mass knows what Derp don't in this case. Mass getting that microwave on second Fantoon.
Yep.
Very
has
nice
that ice beam off, so it's a little bit less powerful, but still gets the job done. Only 2,500 health for this here boss, so don't need to pump him too hard. Nice spark here out of Ocean for Derp. And we do know, as it were, that the gravity suit letting us do Meridia is going to be where the various suit is, whether or not it was available suitless. But again, we'll see how hard Derp really checks for things. I think probably the smartest play is to just go ahead and do Meridia. If it's on path that various suit, you can just get it and go, and you can also find some more on path E-tanks, maybe even a reserve to make things a little more comfy, but we're in a good spot here.
I think so too. D-Web. Maybe on the way. Well, actually, no, I take that back. That would be for going to Lower Norfair. We do have to break the tube, and that is before Kraid's warehouse. So, Derp definitely going to be going to Meridia first, and then going to have to make the long slog all the way down, past the warehouse, down the elevator to Upper Norfair, and then eventually to Lower Norfair.
Yeah. So, see how Mass likes to treat this wreck ship. That E-tank is a one-off versus the rest of the items all being in the same general direction. However, the way you choose to do these things, especially in full, it's a lot of dealer's choice and things like that. If especially with only one remaining, if this is your major, you're done and you don't have to go through, the attic, which is a kill room, and all those other annoying things. But
no, for sure. Wow.
It's just an E-tank here in West.
Empty West Meridia, so Derp gonna turn on the afterburners and just cruise to East Meridia and see what boss is at the Dragon location.
Yeah. And again, there are at least 4 majors still left in this seed, so there's definitely at least one. Various suit is in East Meridia, of that I can assure you. But we'll see how much else
could be behind Dragon.
It could be anywhere. We've got that gravity suit. It is the only nature
Oh
here.
my gosh. You gotta be kidding me. All right, Derp, just check the easy ones. Oh, come on. Come on.
No drama.
Oh my
No.
gosh. The first check, and it's Varia. That is firmly in go mode now for Derp.
Yep. And even gonna you do a little short chart show off into a spark across Aqueduct. I like the showmanship.
Oh, that was awesome. Oh boy.
The very, very clean pass through this seed thus far. Mass actually showing the road less traveled, the Forgotten Highway. Don't typically see this, mostly because it's the slow way into Meridia.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily fill you with glee.
But it will put Mass right at Aqueduct and will get that Varia suit. But
Well,
entering from West Meridia for Derp also did the same thing. So this is the hard-hitting analysis that people come here for, D-Web.
Yeah, without either the map changes that the Dash Recall went through, which are not on in this tournament, or the gray doors being open from a shuffled Dragon, all this basically does is put you all the way through back to the bottom of West Meridia. But it will tell him the number in East Meridia sooner, but that doesn't really matter because there's 0 in West.
Yeah. Unfortunate for Mass for this routing, but we'll be finding that Varia suit gonna run headfirst into it.
And, second vanilla boss here, East Meridia holding a Dragon for us. If there was a mod in chat, it'd be fun. We could get a little prediction going for the Lore and Warfare boss. It's 1 of 4. We've got no idea.
We don't know. Got 2 Fantoons and a Dragon.
I'm rooting for not Kraid or Ridley. That way we can have 4 bosses microwaved in a single seed.
Oops, all microwaves.
Absolutely.
Never seen that before. This is uncharted territory for me, D-Web.
Yeah, there was a practice seed we raced probably about a month ago at this point where the bosses were 3 Fantoons and a Dragon, which is still possible in this one.
Sure
So,
is.
funny things happen. I ran a seed earlier today for some practice. It also ended up boss surprise, and I didn't see a Dragon. So
Wow. And I bet you the first items you found were Charge Plasma, X-Ray, and Grapple, but no Dragon.
well, tell you for sure I did not have a plasma beam, but yes, it was a fun time. These surprise seeds definitely test you, but yeah, Derp gonna be blazing through the rest of the seed. Grab that E-tank he saw at Batsun to fill up his current energy. Definitely didn't need to be at 8 tanks, but given he was at like 100 and something energy and now he's at 869, definitely a wise pickup.
I'll say.
You see why the Forgotten Highway is slower, because you go all through Meridia and then you still end up exactly where you would if you would have just come through Red Burnt Star.
No, for sure. I think I confused myself a little bit. I was thinking about like the shortcut you can take if you have defeated Dragon, but obviously that doesn't apply to this seed.
Yes.
Oh, this is interesting from... Oh, no, this is all part of routing. I thought Derp was actually going to check those items here in the sand pit.
Yeah, this is actually a question I've had in a vanilla map. You are somewhat less likely to be doing the Meridia stuff before you end up doing Lore and Warfare. And I never really knew what the fastest way out was from Dragon's Lair to Lore and Warfare. I think I typically just go through Everest, but Derp, he went through the sand pit, which is maybe better. It's maybe not. Who knows if he's thought about this, timed it out. But
hard to say.
He's got a pretty commanding lead, and he's now going to be cleaning up Kraid's lair. Gonna get the boss surprise information.
That's right. So far, unknown to Derp that this is boss surprise. Mass with a heads up save, probably thinking he's going to need to check sandpits, but will be handsomely rewarded with that Varia suit from the get-go here at Aqueduct. So, but I do like the conservative play from Mass. It's all about hedging your bets, trying to maximize your chances of winning, as well as consolidating any items that you've already picked up and not going over the same ground twice or more.
Yes, indeed. Very convenient location for this various suit for our runners. East Meridia with several checks that are a little bit out of the way and can be a little bit tough routing wise, but no such nonsenses here. As here comes Phantoon 2 Electric Boogaloo for Derp.
Yeah, there we go. Now we're talking to you.
Yeah, look at all this microwave action. Phantoon once, Phantoon twice, Dragon once, Batoon once. See what Lord Norfair throws our way. Maybe we can get another. And we also got the one-shot croc. Like everything that Plasma has ever done for you, showcased in the seed, and multiple times in some cases.
Yeah, you said it. I mean, all these microwavable bosses, D-Web, it makes me feel a bit embarrassed that I cooked dinner in a pan. I mean, it feels a little gauche at this point.
Nice little halfie there from MassHesteria. Been moving quite well himself, but the way that this seed played out, it was pretty well the same route from both runners, and Derp, with some superior execution, has been taking this one.
For sure.
Expanding this lead as all time goes on.
Yeah, Derp's been playing extremely well. Chat pointing out, been playing since the first tournament. I don't know which first tournament, maybe the first Dash tournament, but Derp definitely a well-seasoned random runner, but MassHesteria is no slouch either. And what's nice about this point in the game is that both these runners are in go mode, which means there are probably no more major items to, to click off. But big shout out to our amazing tracker, Ikir, doing a fabulous job. Without trackers, there is no restream, so thank you so much for their volunteer trackers.
Absolutely. That's taking it kind of slow on this one. The X-ray, it's a little bit funny because if you mash too fast, it's actually not really advancing. So these microwaves can take a little bit. That's something I struggle a little bit with. It's if you go too slow, and then you're not going to get enough pumps in to kill. But if you go too fast, it's just going to take forever.
Yeah.
But
it's weird that in a
Goldilocks principle always applies. Not too fast, not too slow.
That's right. Just nice. Goldilocks. Love that.
They're going to get this short charge. Not quite, unfortunately, but with the high jump boost, she's going to do this very comfortable gravity jump here up Gravitron to the 3 major lower Norfair. So no double jump today, but we haven't really needed anything for quite a while. So not going to be
that's for sure.
Sweating that.
Feather in their caps, D-Web. Just the last piece of the puzzle. But yeah, I am curious to see who we're going to face down here in Lower Norfair, since it is boss surprise.
I'll try this fast pillar short charge. Those looked good to me, but not quite there. Potentially, if he would have gotten the runoff, he could have gotten the charge. But tried to top shelf it up here and just missed it a little bit. Screw attack, negating the potential shambles there, and he's going to utilize his movement to do the new route style Orris room. Very nicely done. Gets the added lag because the screw attack didn't actually kill those pirates with the power bombs hitboxing them, but he's going forward at a breakneck pace here.
You said it, D-Web. This is Derp's first race. This is best of 3, but this is Derp's race to lose. So depending on the second seed, might have to see a dramatic comeback by Mass to avoid being eliminated from this tournament.
Yep, it's been pretty well run. I think if Derp is almost certainly going to be coming in under his sub hour. I think Mass probably would if he elects to finish this one out, given the trail and the best of 3 nature. I somewhat expect he won't end up finishing this one out unless some shambles happen and he ends up our winner. But it's gonna be quick time. The seed gave us so many good things early, movement-wise, damage-wise, that checks haven't been super sparse. And especially some of these things, we had one major in Upper Norfair when we went to Bubble Mountain, found that pretty quickly. We had one major in East Meridia that was extremely findable. The one major in Croc was the first item.
Yeah. Really lucky on those one or two major locations in the game. All right, who's it going to be? D-Web.
It's a surprise. It is not Ridley. It's also not Fantoon. Ah, it's Kraid.
A Ridley-free
Ooh.
seed is the way to be.
Fantoon heard about all the love Ridley is getting from the Super Metroid fans and said, "You know what? It's my turn today. Shower me with praise."
That's right. No need to check behind Kraid. Derp's got it. G4 bosses defeated. And now the long journey out of Lower Norfair all the way back to the surface of the planet Zebes.
Yep. Gonna see what you would see in the old route style run. We just don't have that space jump, but we've basically got everything else you would have in that run. And find our way to Turian is... Oh, wow. Mass got the short charge, and then, unfortunately, Angle sparked into the ceiling.
So close. When you're racing on the edge, D-Web, you're just that much closer to hitting the barrier sometimes, I guess.
Indeed. Fly too close to the sun, you might get burned.
Well spoken. So, Lower Norfair Escape, not too scary with this item loadout. Not taking constant heat damage, and that screw attack just makes everything so comfy down here. That's certainly why it is down here in the vanilla game. It's why it's it's the last item you get.
Yes.
Completely OP.
It makes enemies not stand a chance against you, and Samus is already a pretty powerful a weapon of a human being.
Yeah.
And you add that screw attack, and
it's
all
over.
bets are off.
It is over. Just massively increases your survivability.
A little hiccup, and we're back. I think with the screw attack, you're probably a little bit too fast for the ball bounce strat in that room, but that's a ding you'll take to your swag in this run.
Yeah, you can do without the ball boost, I guess.
Nice speed kill of pirate number 1, and then we're gonna microwave pirate number 2.
Nicely done, Mass. That's a very, very clever strat there for Metal Pirates.
Yep. If there were a Ridley in this seed, it would fall quickly to Mass's very, very high damage weaponry. But it is just a Kraid. It's gonna go in there and hopefully get a nice little quick kill.
Kraid quick kill, I should say. Not a given, even for the most elite runners. But I got a feeling that Mass is going to do just fine.
Yep. Normalizing the position with the power bomb. Looks like he's going for the 2+3 method.
2 missiles. Oh. Reset. Reset the fight, that is. Oh, be careful, Baz.
He could have.
Oh no!
He had resigned himself to missing the kill. He could have still gotten that little backup. It was wouldn't have been the quickest of quick kills, but
well, commentary curse strikes again. Mass, don't worry, the check's in the mail.
Ascending back into criteria for Derp. He's got to run to the left of the ship, find his way into Turian, and then we'll be able to just breeze through everything. Doesn't need basically any of his ammo, and he's already got well enough to blast through doors, Zebs, Mother Brain. He's got a Zeb skip in his hands.
Yeah, in full control right now. Mass played a very commendable performance here. Really nice routing, but Derp just a skosh faster, more efficient, maybe.
Yeah. Did all the right things in the right times. Given the very, very short amount of time we spent running Upper Norfair, doing Croc second really didn't hurt him for the heat shield that he got. It's also the case that we really didn't need that heat shield at all.
It's true. It's very true.
Did end up getting, and yeah, again, The majors were in the early checks of basically every area we did, so just lended itself to a pretty fast seed, especially given all the movement items we found.
Definitely found some of the good ones. You got the best 1-2 combination in the game with the high jump speed booster. And we got half of the second best combination, which is screw attack, space jump, although space jump is doing the heavy lifting in that duo.
Yes, indeed. Absolutely blaze through those room 1 Metroids. And no need for drops. Nice deboost here.
Yeah, Derp's cooking.
Derp nice room 3 as well.
Look at that pinpoint accuracy. No need to group those Metroids. Just got to get past these iron side hoppers and go straight into baby skip.
Is he gonna get hit by that thing? No, he still had iframes. Yeah, this is an absolute clinic on how to do terrain quickly.
Yeah. You can say that again, D-Web.
Tell you for absolute certain, if you watch a race that I'm competing in, the Metro rooms will not look that clean. Yeah.
Well,
I like to get in there and get the job done. And
oh, look at this! The classic baby skip here, D-Web.
Yeah, no Stachio. I don't know if Derp is not a fan or just likes the safety and the comfort of the old school. Sometimes you can't go wrong with the classics.
That's true. No school like the old school, indeed.
.30 and 32, an absolute plethora of ammo here. We're gonna probably see either a down back Zeb skip here, or you can do it on the second one, unless he turned off that screw attack already.
Yeah, that's must have done it during the elevator.
Yeah. I will say, as well as the more comfortable Zeb skip, it's also more comfortable in the Metroid rooms if you're doing the ice strats to have the screw attack off, because if you happen to miss him and then you jump into him with the screw attack, you're gonna send him all over the place. So yeah, pretty haywire.
They just bounce around like crazy. All right, well, this is 20 shots without any supers, and these supers do a decent amount of damage to Mother Brain, so 22 on tap for Derp is going to be a short Mother Brain too.
Your eyes are playing tricks on you. It's not quite the full beam touch with 30 shots.
Oh, no. Aki, what have you done?
Two supers is one charge shot, so he's got 11 of those 30 out of the way. Only he's going to need to do 19 of these charge shots, and then he'll be home free. And
so it's a French vanilla fight with no supers, except he had 22 supers. What am I saying? 19's awfully close to 20. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, he was trying to make you right. I always appreciate it.
Yeah.
Commentators, we try to sound smart, and then the runners, they help us out a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Not to mention Twitch chat, for sure.
Derp did not turn the various suit off, but is setting up for the stand-up.
Oh, be careful.
Yeah, I think he should be fine, given that he got those onion rings.
Oh my god, what a
another rainbow.
That would have been.
So, all good here in the neighborhood. As long as he doesn't mess up the stand-up, but given that he's going for it in this kind of seed, I expect he will be quite comfortable with what he has to do here.
We have seen others die during that cutscene, but Derp staying alive.
Yes, indeed. So, there's a few points where you do not want to be. I think you basically don't want to get stuck in the ground. That's the biggest worry in some of these places, as Mass is grouping in Metroid Room 1.
Can you X-ray out of if you get stuck in the ground? Like, can you X-ray out of it?
In some cases, yes. This isn't one of those things I put any time into, so I don't know the real intricacies and specifics of it, but I just know that, yeah, getting stuck in the ground is one of the ways that you can get in trouble here. Yeah, X-ray can get you out of dodge.
Yeah.
Sometimes you step on that community chest and get a get out of jail free card.
Oh, it's so good. All right, Mother Brain 3 now for Derp as Mass completes the Metroid room, setting up for baby skip. But if you like what you've seen here, be sure to give these runners a follow. And be sure to root on the rest of your favorite runners throughout this Dash Mystery Tournament. Games 2, and I should say races 2 and 3 will follow right here on SpeedGaming 6. So Derp's going to bring it on home, but don't you go anywhere, chat, because there's going to be a ton more Super Metroid Dash Mystery Tournament action tonight.
Yep. Mass going for the ever-elusive baby skip. Just gets grabbed by our loving little baby Metroid, who's all grown up by the time we hit up in Torian.
Yeah, they grow up so fast, D-Web.
That they do. Hopefully, Derp will not rob us of the escape sequence that we deserve to see. And he is back. Potentially having a slight bit of internet issues, but nothing too bad. You've seen basically all this run has been very well run by both of our runners, but Derp just a little bit faster. And going to be coming out of here with a Game 1 victory. Couple of rooms to go.
Super nice parlor. I mean, the escape is we've seen races decided on the escape. Unfortunately, this isn't one of those, but Derp going to bring it on to home to the landing site.
Absolutely, and with that, Derp is our race 1 winner with an official race time of 55 minutes and 11 seconds. Mass, I believe, is going to finish out Mother Brain 1, look over at that waste room, and end up deciding not to finish this one, especially with the potential 3 games going on in this series. Conserve that energy, makes a lot of sense. You've done Mother Brain more times probably than you can count, especially with equipment such as this. No need to practice and no danger, so that's going to be the conclusion of racing as far as Game 1 is concerned. Mass may elect to end up finishing this out, but definitely want to get along with the next races of this series. See how things are going over here. Oh yeah, they're just about ready to go here for race number 2. So we'll look at these credits, provided Derp's internet prevents us to see them, and get a little bit of a grade before game 2 starts here on your airwaves.
We do have MM2 in the chat reporting that Derp's power flickered a little bit, so that may be why. Derp's screen is frozen.
It's a good thing he finished as fast as he did then. That is terrifying.
Yeah. Saw the finish. Recorded for posterity right here on SpeedGaming 6. But yeah, we'll keep Mass rolling as long as Mass is still playing. As our runners get set for the next race. As you're probably all familiar with, there is a 10-minute stream delay, so after the conclusion of this race, there will be a brief pause before we get the next race rolling. But we want you all to stay tuned and enjoy.
Yes, indeed. Hopefully the power flicker was a one-time thing, and it happened at a convenient enough time that it hasn't had any effect on this race series thus far. And then we can go ahead and have nice clean race number 2 as well. We will let Mass finish out this escape sequence on stream and get out of here. Like I said, runners have just both readied up. We'll have about 10 minutes before our conclusion. Oh, look at that. Looked like Gauntlet had the other charge upgrade, the only thing I could possibly see in Derp's credits as his stream decided to come back for us. Appreciate the silliness of power issues and their benevolence to not trouble our runners. But yeah, with that, I'm going to let this Mother Brain fight play out and then get out of your way. I'm going to stretch my legs, take a little bit of a break of myself before game 2 comes your way in the 16 13 versus 17 seed matchup. Derp coming in quite a bit higher seeded, a little bit of struggle. Both of our runners were 3-3 in the Swiss stage, but definitely looking to make some noise here on both of our runners. As this, it's a very tough tournament with a wide open field. We're gonna be seeing some very high octane